today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys Heroes of the Storm Dominion Ghost Nova. Coming to us from the Heroes of the Storm line, it's recommended for ages 14 and up, as it does contain some choking hazards. Really cool released figures. Spot picked up a couple of these, and we're going to have a look at these in separate videos. On the back of the package, a read-up says, November, Nova Terra is a ghost of the Terran Dominion and one of the most powerful sonic soldiers ever known. Nova is highly focused, determined, and extremely deadly. Even Jim Raynor wouldn't want to be caught within her crosshairs. Also released, there is the Illidan, as well as coming soon, there's Stitches, Arthas, and Teriel. All coming to us from the folks over at NECA Toys. You can go to www.necaonline.com. Check out the other properties and licenses that they are producing figures for. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, but when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Heroes of the Storm Dominion Ghost Nova. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Getting Nova out of packaging, oh, almost dropped her. Getting her out of packaging, the one thing that you need to do first is, you see at the back of the head, there's a hole. Take her supplied ponytail, and you just want to peg it into place. I can see why NECA would have left this off, as this could be a piece. Could be a piece. Let's actually get it in there. There we go. Could be a piece that, well, getting into packaging, it would potentially bend and warp it. So I could completely understand why they would have kept it as a separate item that you peg in when you get it out of, getting her out of the clamshell there. The other accessories that come included with her, though, is she comes with an interchangeable hand, which gives you basically like a gesture, a directional gesture hand that she can use. And it's only really for the one hand, obviously, because the thumbsies go in. And take the hand off, and it's a bit struggling to get the hand off the ball joint. I have to apply a little bit of pressure. There we go. And you can plug the interchangeable hand back into place. Not a very successful, not an easy thing to accomplish, I might add. But you got her more with just like a little pointing gestured hand instead. Let's not, of course, forget and overlook the largest accessory that she comes with is this really cool gun. It's trying to think of maybe the color that this is. It's almost like a blue-based gray, almost borderline gunmetal gray, and you got these amazing accents of the blue there. Looks like there's a little bit of panel lining there as well, just to bring out like just like the little paneled areas of the gun. It's very large. It's very cool. I like it. You'll also see there's a little peg on the handle itself. That's because her hand itself, right here, has a hole in it. So you have to get the handle, I should say, into her hand. And then from there, see if I can actually see it with the light. Then with that there, you have to take the peg, and it can be a little difficult, I must say. It can be a little on the difficult side. You have to get the peg into the hand. A task much easier, I would say, once you pause the camera and you can actually get it pegged in there. I can understand why they would have done this, because I mean the hand doesn't hold the handle well enough to rely solely on the sculpt of the hand to keep the weapon in place. I can understand them wanting to peg that there, or wanting to include the peg, so at least the hand does properly hold it. But it can be a little trickier, a little easier again if you pause the camera. But as you can see, if not for the peg, there's not enough finger clearance to grab around the handle of the gun without the fingers looking extremely long. So I can understand why they would have gone that route. As for the figure itself, really a gorgeous looking piece. Despite all that, I'm gonna take the peg off. I'm gonna take the gun completely out of her hand. As I was saying, it's a really nice looking piece. I feel like it kind of channels a little bit a Samus look, if you ask me, kind of like from a Metroid scheme of things. Only, of course, missing the helmet. but I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that sees it. It just does really look like a Samus to me. Heroes of the Storm, to be honest, have not played, but I gotta say the designs are pretty cool, especially this one. And again, I might just be saying that because I've got, you know, a fond fascination with Metroid. The face is pretty. Let's bring the camera in and have a look at the face. Sculpt is quite nice. Paint's very, very clean. NECA, again, continues to impress when it comes to the sculpts of hair. They just get better and better with their releases. And the ponytail here, the very long ponytail here is certainly no exception. The choice of blues are also quite nice. It's not quite a very stark, vibrant blue either. It's more like a dark, almost like a gray-based blue. Very dark in color. It's almost got a little bit of a speckled sheen to it, while the majority of her body is a light gray, and then even lighter gray with a little couple of blue panel-lined trimmed areas. Very cool, very well constructed. Of course, the source material itself would have depicted, would have, you know, determined the design here. But I think the translation from character to figure here, well, that's all NECA, and I think NECA really did a good job here. She's got peg holes on the undersides of her feet, but sadly she doesn't come with any sort of display stand to speak of. I really like the figure, I do, quite a bit. When it comes to Nova's articulation, let's go ahead. She does have a ball joint in the head. I guess to some regards, she does have posability in the ponytail, as you can rotate it. That's cool though, because you can rotate it. You can kind of get a dynamic look as if she's maybe standing on top of like a peak or something, and you've got something that's pushing her hair away, like a blowing, you know, breeze or something like that. So I think that's pretty cool. Shoulders are on a hinge. Not overly obstructed by the shoulder pads because luckily they are soft rubber, so they don't really get in the way of her shoulders. Arms rotate all the way around. Try not to bang the ponytail. She has a bend in the elbow, which also rotates the forearm. She also has a rotation in a ball joint, really, in either of the hands, depending on whether you switch it out for this hand or you keep the default hand in place. A ball joint in the upper torso. Look like got a little bit of paint wear here, maybe as a result of the torso moving. And then finally, her legs are ball jointed, a hinge movement there. The back tush area of the figure is all soft rubber, so it gives you the sculpt while not hindering the posability of the ball joints inside the leg cavities. Legs have a double hinge knee, and finally, you've got a ball joint foot. Spot's mentioned this on a couple of occasions in the past when looking at figures. Just because you don't necessarily follow the source material does not mean you cannot appreciate a really fantastic sculpt figure. Now that I look at it more and more, I do like the fact that you can rotate the hair. That adds just a little extra oomph to an already really super cool figure. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the NECA Toys Heroes of the Storm. We're looking today at Dominion Ghost Nova, which again kind of looks like Samus. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.